We're talking to successful entrepreneurs who gave birth to a business before their 21st birthday.
And many young people are funding their business ventures the old-fashioned way. That's right, a recent survey found that 19% of Generation X investors are using proceeds from stock sales to start a business.
It's all about turning one thing into another, like Edward Inclan of RPM or Remanufactured Production Motors. Edward grew up in a family of entrepreneurs, starting a catering business with a friend at age 20. He then turned a love of cars into a company, buying his first Mustang for only $50. And while he didn't make the money he hoped, he got something even better, invaluable experience.
With a partner, he created Hardcore Parts and soon bought him out. Edward brought in his old friend from the catering business, now catering to car lovers by starting RPM. This is his third company. They founded it a year ago, focusing on buying and selling remanufactured motors.
Edward took a risk as a young business owner, and now the 31-year-old is a seasoned vet of the business world, and he's just getting revved up.
My mother used to have a saying, you know, if you dream it, you can have it. And that's been my philosophy. Started when I was about 20 years old, and I started a catering business with my best friend, who, him and I used to have fun doing things, and we decided that a business would probably be the best way to go, apply all the fun into a business, and we would do all right, which we did. So we started the catering business, and we did that for about 3 years. Then we sold it. My friend moved back to Mexico, and I started my second business with another partner.
They named the company Hardcore Parts, and with 9 engine cores on consignment, went in search of customers. Today, inventory includes over 3,000 engines and annual sales of $1.5 million and growing.
Hardcore sells the used motors that we recycle from basically raking yards. We sell them to remanufacturers. We recycle the alternators and flywheels and all the other parts that can be rebuilt. And so people can go out to Cragen or to another auto parts store and purchase them.
Edward bought his partner's share of Hardcore, and just a year ago, he joined forces with his best friend a second time. The result was a new company named RPM.
We're doing things that we enjoy doing, which is a big deal. Being able to have fun while you work is very unique. It's a unique feeling to have your best friend with you to do it along with. RPM Engine sells remanufactured engines for foreign and domestic vehicles.
Edward says that some of the most important business lessons were those he learned before the age of 21.
Well, I think the biggest lesson that you learn being in business is responsibility. You learn that if you don't work, you're really not going to make any money. Not only that, but you tend to make a lot of mistakes as you go along. Being in business, you get your door slammed on your face quite a bit. And you have to turn around and don't let it bother you and just keep going. Because you don't really have much of a track record of failure, it's hard to compare failure to anything else. So you just keep going and going and going. And then when you are in business for 2 or 3 years, you can understand and learn from those mistakes on how could you have done it better had I been, you know, had I done this or had I done that. Because now you have something to compare with. When you're young, you don't have anything to compare it with. Everything's good and everything's positive. When you're in business, credibility is a big deal. And when you're young, people don't take you that serious. They think, oh, you know, he's too young, he can fail easy, let's try somebody who's been in business longer. If I had to give advice to somebody who's young and wanting to start a new business, my biggest advice to them is do a lot of research. Like what you're going to get into. You have to like what you do.
Following his own advice, Edward found a way to incorporate his personal passion and his business.
Yes, I do love racing. Racing is part of my life. It's always been part of my life. It takes away all the stress from the from the week's work. You really look forward to racing. But more than anything, not only does it serve as a marketing tool for our businesses, and it serves as a great marketing tool because it builds loyalty from our customers. Our employees love it. The marketing aspect about having a race car or a race team in any business In our case, because we are in the automotive industry, we follow the philosophy, win on Sunday, sell on Monday. You know, we usually, it applies, not that quickly, but it applies. We tend to keep our customers in contact with what we do in racing. And it helps out. You know, people call us and, hey, how did you do last weekend? You know, people remember you by that. I think that as you grow old, you tend to be more conservative in what you do. I'm a risk taker. I like risks. I like challenges. I like the what ifs. And then learn from that. Opportunity is there for everybody. I think that there's two kinds of people. People who think about doing things and people who do them. If you think, you can do it.
Boy, he sure has come a long way from the catering business.
Fast. Faster, you could say, is kind of a trademark of his life.
Indeed.
Yes.
Edward's mother says she's not too happy about his racing, but is still very proud of him. With the company's growing at a rate of 70% this year, Edward is excited about the challenges of managing growth. His goal is to reach $10 million in sales in the next 5 years.
Bet he'll do it. Coming up, our studio guest will explain how he started his first of 5 business